Warning, do not attempt anything you see in this video at home. I am a professional idiot, but I am trained to work with the dangerous equipment seen in the video, and that includes taking a fall. So please be safe and don't try any of this at home. Oh boy, there's a chance. There's a chance I went too far with this one. Trying to get a cold foil out of this pack. I don't know how I'm gonna get that out of there. Hey everyone, welcome back to High Roll Warrior, the channel where we barely know what we're doing. We do it anyway because we like it. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Oh, that's right. I think we're gonna be testing the durability of the paper versus plastic packs. This is gonna be really interesting. A lot of people saying that the paper is better. We're gonna have to test that with very conventional methods of testing, as you can see. We're gonna test for moisture and heat, pack durability here, and electricity. Because you never know if you get struck by lightning on the way back from the card shop, are your packs going to be safe? Are the cards inside going to be safe? So yeah, very straightforward, very normal. And yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Oh, and remember, this video is the giveaway for the Valda Bright Axe cold foil. So at some point in the video, I'm not going to spoil it, I'll give you the details on how to win that. And that's gonna be great, and that'll be going out for the next one. Also, I know it's been like almost a month since my last video. There's a couple of reasons for that. My computer decided to just go on the fritz, and my hard drive crashed. It just was no good. I lost about everything until I finally figured out how to recover it. I could show you on the video here what it looked like. Well, now we get this far. All right, and that's bullshit. Yep, and before this, it was the Windows blue screen. That sucks. That was not fun. That took a while to figure out, so I couldn't make much of a video without uploading it and editing it and things like that. And I also apologize for the noise that's around here because we are outside, so there's probably gonna be some wind and some people who don't have exhaust on their vehicles. Oh yeah, and last week I was really sick, and also it has to be warm out to do these types of things. So, you know, it's not really warm, but at least it's not snowing. Okay, part one is the moisture test. So, you know, I have this, I don't know, I have a feeling that plastic is probably the best barrier against moisture. Paper, well, it's paper, and paper gets wet and soggy, and that's not good because, you know, then you got soggy cards and you can't get those graded. So yeah, let's try that. Let's get this out of the way here. So here we have moisture in a bowl, also known as water. And let's see. I guess we'll try the plastic first. So it's pretty wet, you know? No, that's a soggy pack. So I'm gonna let that sit out for a second. And then we're gonna try the paper. As you can see, these are sealed. So if there's a cold foil in here, I'm gonna be really sad. So please like and subscribe, because that's probably the only thing gonna make me through this if I lose a card like that. So here goes, paper versus moisture. Seems to have a similar effect. It's floating. All right, so we'll open those in a minute and see what we got. That's fun. That's great. I'm sorry for all of this. All right, so give them a second to dry off here. At first glance, these packs feel like they're airtight, which is kind of interesting for paper. I'm gonna, for the sake of a squeaky table. You know, in the off chance that the cards inside are actually completely dry, we'll try not to ruin them. All right, I'm gonna do the plastic first. Carefully here. They appear to be completely fine. So let's see if there's anything good in here. So we have the rare, a rare, and a foil. We didn't get anything crazy. Okay. So that's that. And now for the paper. Did the paper survive? Oh, there's a little water in here. You can see that. Dry that off. Careful. I don't want to be so careful now. I just dunked them in water. So I think we're good. Yeah, I don't see anything. I don't see any issues here. Let's see what we got though. Is there anything good? Oh, this is probably terrible. It's been a while, sorry. Oh, look at that. What a foil, we got a foil Valda, so now we have another one. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Well, that was cool. Very cool. I have to say, I'm not quite satisfied with the moisture test because I feel like moisture can be aggressive. I think that there's a way to test that. Give me a minute, I will set this up for a better test. Yeah, so like I said, moisture can get pretty aggressive if left untreated. I like to go on Amazon and buy silica packets and put those, you know, not necessarily in the boxes that the cards are in, but around the area in which they're stored in, because too much moisture and actually too little moisture are bad things for your cards. You want to be somewhere around 40%, I think is pretty good. And they actually do have different packets to control that. So anyway, like I said though, we're going to test this, and to test moisture over a period of 10 years, which is what I think these cards would be worth millions in 10 years. I'm going to use this 2000 PSI pressure washer, and I have it set to a 0-degree angle. So that essentially means that water is going to be spraying in a 0.05 millimeter pattern at 2000 PSI. That's ridiculous. So let's try it out. That seems like it's enough. Let's see. I think we're having issues there. With the moisture, you can see it sort of getting into the pack. I'm really impressed by the fact that the front. Oh no, there it goes. Okay, so that's a bit of moisture damage there. Yep. Yeah, see. Now, had I used some silica packets to protect this, we probably would have been okay. Yeah, see, look at that. We're all the way through. I don't know if you can see that. It's not looking good. I'm just gonna be sad about that. Okay, it's about 11 a.m. I'm gonna test the heat test here by putting these out in the sun, in direct sunlight, for 4 hours. Okay, so about 4 hours has passed. These have been in direct sunlight. It's now about 3 p.m. Let's see how they did. Both of these packs have been outside in the sun for quite a while. We're gonna make sure that nothing has happened to the cards. We'll start with the first one here. I always seem to have trouble getting these open, you know. The plastic feels more malleable than normal. I'm not sure if that's a good sign or not. but my hands are a little dirty because it took a while to set up this video. Ooh, we got a Channel Lake Frigid. That's pretty cool. And an Autumn's Touch foil. Yeah, these cards look fine. I don't see any warping. Yeah, they look fine. I've actually had some quality issues with Tales of Aria. I could show you a clip from me opening a pack and the pack was all stuck together. That was pretty ridiculous. Seriously, what in the hell is going on here? What am I supposed to do with this? I don't think this is a legally playable card. Just saying, if I could shuffle it every time, and it's Lightning Surge, but also Polar Blast. Legend Story Studios, you gotta send me a new Lightning Surge and a Polar Blast, because these are illegal cards. I can't play them, it's rigged. But yeah, now for Everfest. Paper, did paper make any difference? Let's see. We got Bad Beats. Oh, I like that Bad Beats. Foil Pry. Ooh, we got a cold foil. All right. Talisman of Recompense. So we got a cold foil out of it. That's pretty cool. And it looks to be perfectly fine. So, I'm going to say that under moderate heat, these packs seem to hold up. So the packs seem to hold up to moderate heat fairly well. I wasn't surprised. I mean, the packaging on these is pretty good. If you have, let's say, a warm closet, I think that they would be fine. Now, I don't know for over a long period of time, but the closest way that I could test that is instead of putting it under moderate heat for a long period of time, I'm gonna put them under a lot of heat under a short period of time. And I think that that will get us the same result. That's science, yeah. I went to school. Okay, so according to science, a lot of heat over a short period of time should equal the same amount as a moderate amount of heat over a long period of time. So that's what we're gonna test with my torch.
Are you allowed to do this?
Yes, I have a permit actually. There you go. As I was saying, safety first. Got the fire extinguisher. Also, don't do anything that I do at home. I'm a professional idiot. Oh boy. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Well, I think that reasons to say that it doesn't hold up so well. So as you can see, the heat has penetrated the paper fairly quickly and made short work of the contents inside. So I would not advise to use this as fireproof material because you'll get burned pretty bad. In fact, it'll make it worse. So that's science right there. They're not fireproof. Okay, so for our third test, third test, we're gonna test electricity. So electricity, say you're walking home from your card shop, you got a pack of Everfest in your pocket, or taped all around you, maybe. You know, you got a thunder phobia, that's a real thing, my mom has that. And you wanna be protected from lightning. Well, would a pack of Flesh and Blood cards help protect you in a lightning storm if you were to get struck? So right now I got about 90 amps of current running through my smallest welder. That's about the equivalent of sticking your finger in an electrical socket, except the electrical socket is 9 times the size of the household electrical socket. So it's enough to melt steel. Let's see how it goes. Okay. Also, don't weld with shorts and I'm doing this for a very short period of time, but you should have full protective gear on for this. And don't do something dumb like this. Don't do any of this, you know, unless you're trained to do it anyway. So this is the electricity test. Let's see how it goes. Well, that actually did better than I thought it would. I really expected that to like go up in flames, but it didn't. Huh, definitely don't have this on the right setting for that 1/4 inch steel. But anyway, well, there you go. If you get struck by lightning while having a bunch of Flesh and Blood packs strapped to your body, you might survive, but don't take any of that advice because I haven't tested this with lightning yet. Yeah, I'm actually surprised at that. Huh. The more you know. Science, right? So in addition to being a Hyrule warrior, I'm also a pretty good ninja. So originally I planned to do this video for April Fool's Day, and just so you know, no cards, well, I should say no good cards got hurt in this process. They were all bulk, and I sorted through all the good cards, and this is just bulk of what I had laying around, and little video magic, and I resealed a lot of the packs to run most of the tests. So here's the last pack for the last test, and we'll see if we get any good. Thank you, car, for that. Very loud car. All right. Ooh, nice, even bigger than that. And a smashing good time, no majestics or anything. All right, cool. So for this last test, I did mention in a previous video, if you were to come face to face with a professional wrestler and your only line of defense for whatever reason was a pack of Flesh and Blood cards, how well would you fare out? So here on Hyrule Warrior, we're gonna test that. And the only way I can think of testing this is by imitating The Rock, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. This is a terrible idea. With a fold-out table and a pack of Flesh and Blood cards, and throw it to people's elbow and see what happens. One of us is gonna get hurt. Yeah, definitely. Don't try this at home. All right, the moment you've been waiting for. I'm gonna do my best with my protective gear to get the people's elbow to this pack of Flesh and Blood cards and see if it survives. I know what you're thinking, but don't worry. I have first aid on standby. Originally, I was going to try to jump off the roof of the garage. And Allison thought that that was a terrible idea and then I would break my neck. She's probably right, because even this 2 feet off the ground feels a little scary. It's pretty tall. I guess there's nothing left to do. Flesh and Blood versus professional wrestling. Can you smell? Can you smell what the Hyrule Warrior is cooking? Seems to be all right. All right, so I'm completely fine. So what did we learn today? The packs are moderately moisture resistant. You can get them wet, and they seem to have resistance to most of that. They resist direct sunlight and heat for a short period of time. And they do not do well with fire. Fire burns paper, electricity, lightning, and 2,000 psi of water. That didn't work out well for the cards. So yeah, I had a great time today. I'm glad that you were able to hang out, and if you made it to the end of the video, all you have to do is like, subscribe, and leave a comment as to what you think about Flesh and Blood. in the state of the game as it is right now. And that's your chance to win the Vault of Bright Axe Cold Foil. So in the last part of the video, I think I'll talk about a response to Rudy from Alpha Investments as far as the state of the game, its collectability, and things like that. And I have to say that Flesh and Blood, Legend Story Studios, James White, his team, is doing a fantastic job, because these are things that I personally had asked for. I wanted more accessibility to the players. I wanted people to be able to come into this game. And that's not to say, I mean, I collect myself, so I have some sealed product. I have cards in my collection. You know, am I gonna be upset if they tank? Well, sure, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think by printing these history packs and stuff like that into, for lack of a better word, crappy versions of playable cards, it's a really good move. It's a good direction for the game, because you're going to be able to draw more players in, and that's what the game needs. If it wants to grow, it doesn't need investors and it doesn't need collectors, it needs players. It's a yin and yang effect. If the game is unplayable, or people have no desire to go out and play it, then it's worthless. I mean, really, the investing and the collecting was good for the first half of the thing, but where it stands, if it needs substantial growth throughout these years, it's going to need people to see how good the game actually plays. And it's really hard to do when you have certain playable cards reaching $200-300. That's a little crazy, in my opinion. So they did two things. They brought more playable equipment into the game through the method of printing Majestics that are decent. They don't necessarily fully replace some of the legendaries, but they are very playable in that regard. The second thing is that these cards are now confirmed that some of these legendaries are going to get yet another reprint in a white bordered form with somewhat limited quantity, but to really cycle more playable cards back through the game. I think it's a fantastic choice. I don't have too many comments on the print run. Monarch was recently released that they had 125,000, I think it was, boxes. And I think that what they're seeing is that this whole first edition and unlimited run thing maybe doesn't necessarily work out quite the way that they wanted it to. I still think that all the first edition product of the first 6 sets is going to be worth keeping on to, for sure, if you have sealed product there. I think that we're going to see some changes coming up. I would expect to see more of a consolidated product, I think, for maybe not the next release, but as we move on, because it's an awkward place if you're just a player and you're an active player who wants to get stuff on the first day of release. You're kind of stuck with buying first edition product. Maybe you don't want first edition, whatever, and you're kind of stuck there. It's an interesting situation. So my guess is that they will maybe combine product and keep, still a high value card, a cold foil, alternate art, what have you, mixed throughout the products. Or maybe they're going to change it completely. I mean, we have the dual decks coming out. I think that's great. I think the game needs more flash. The cold foils are absolutely amazing, but I don't think that all that flash should just be reserved in that very limited space. I think if they create more flashiness, full arts and stuff like that, that'd be great too. Now I'm just rambling. But anyway, we're gonna wrap up the video here. I hope you had fun. Don't do any of the things that I did here. Hope you have a great morning, afternoon, and evening. And we'll catch you on the next one. Remember, slay the day.
My job here is done.
Well, at least we can recycle it. What's going on?
I was gonna say, you don't seem as bubbly as you normally do.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Okay. Will you please stop paying attention to the squirrel?